What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're talking about how comfort is the biggest disease destroying men. Okay, let's get right into it. So, comfort promises ease, and that delivers weakness. All right, so a lot of these men these days, we are very low as a society of men, very low. Back 100 years ago plus, people were fighting in wars. They were, they weren't sleeping very much. They weren't eating. They had to sacrifice a lot, right? They didn't have any of these phones or any of this fast food laying around, right? It was straight pain. It was straight pain. And comfort is going to promise ease, okay? And it delivers that weakness over time. So a lot of men trade the short-term ease for long-term regret, okay? And what I mean by this is all these men today, they'll think about the short term. So what sounds good? What sounds good is scrolling on my phone for 2 hours, and they don't even realize it. They'll sit there and scroll and scroll and scroll, play video games, they'll jerk off, but they don't realize the long-term regret of it. Instead of scrolling or jerking off or doing any of that type of stuff, they're wasting time. Instead of doing that, they could be working on themselves, they could be going to the gym, they could be working on a business and setting themselves up for life for them, but their parents or their future family. And they don't understand that time wasted, the little bit of time wasted over time, is hurting them in the long run. It's hurting them. It's destroying them inside. Okay? And comfort kills growth. Okay? No muscle without resistance. No confidence without struggle. Comfort absolutely destroys growth. And jerking off, for an example, right? If you jerk off and you're always sitting there gooning all the time, there's no growth. It's killing all your ambition, your confidence level, your energy, everything. Talking to females, if you have a significant other, it can ruin your relationship with that person, because you sitting there and watching a screen, gooning for hours and hours a day, will hurt you in the long run in terms of trying to connect with your partner physically, emotionally, mentally. Okay? And you're not going to have any confidence as well. Number 3, modern society kills comfort. Food delivery, instant entertainment, and quick dopamine hits. These 3 right here are absolutely huge, because as a society now, we have DoorDash, we have Uber Eats, we have the instant entertainment, we have our phones. We have this easy entertainment. We have Xboxes now. Our parents buy us Xboxes when we're kids, and they're still laying around. We have all these quick dopamine hits. Weed is legalized a lot of places. We have our phones, Uber Eats. All of that stuff together creates a weak man. It creates a weak man. And everyone likes to come together and talk about the funny reels that they see online. They like to sit there and they can't control, any of their testosterone levels. So they sit there and they'll goon all day. And the food delivery, they don't feel like cooking. They're lazy as fuck and they don't feel like cooking. So what do? They sit there and they will click everything they want and they'll have it delivered to their house because they're too lazy to get up. And that's exactly where we've come, is all these cheap, quick, entertaining things that we want for dopamine. Our mind craves dopamine. So, number 4, discomfort equals the cure. Cold showers, heavy lifts, difficult conversations, disciplined choices, all that will create discomfort, and that's the cure. And that's where we grow as men. That's where we go back 100 years ago, where everyone had only discomfort and there was none of this quick, easy entertainment. And things like the cold showers, the heavy lifts, difficult conversations, disciplined choices, those are all things that I have put into my life because it created discomfort in me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it, but that's how I knew I was going to grow. If I start adding in a cold shower every morning, if I was lifting 5 days a week, if I was having these difficult conversations, maybe with my boss or with my parents or just with whoever, putting myself in difficult, uncomfortable situations has really helped me grow. Okay, so if there's things in your life you're like, I don't feel great about this. I'm kind of uncomfortable. It's going to take a lot for me to do this. Do it anyway, because that's what creates a discomfort, and that's how you grow. My story with comfort. So, I used to skip the gym. I used to eat out of convenience. Eating out of convenience, choosing to scroll made me stall. Okay, I used to be a very big scroller without even realizing. I used to sit there for hours upon hours scrolling. If not, it was the Xbox. It was playing the games all the time. I would go hours upon hours upon hours. And I look up, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, my eyes were hurting. I felt like my head was hurting because there was so much dopamine being released from just doing all these little things. And that's how I got comfortable. I got comfortable. But then I started realizing that that's just a shit ton of dopamine I'm releasing every day. No wonder I don't want to go to the gym. No wonder I don't want to go to work. No wonder I don't enjoy easy things. No wonder I can't go in 30 minutes without my phone. So I started waking up early, sticking to my gut, filming when I didn't feel like it made me level up and grow. And now this was more later when I started to film like it, the film videos. And all this just got me out of my comfort zone. It got me out of my comfort zone. I started doing things that I didn't enjoy. The worst thing, the hardest thing for me, one of the hardest things I remember that used to be extremely difficult was getting up out of bed and having to go to school or go to work in the morning and turning on the shower to freezing cold. That was the hardest thing because I was so tired and it felt so uncomfortable because I wanted to go back to bed. I wanted to be warm in my, in my sheets, blanket, my pillow, and just getting up and going straight to the cold shower. That was the most difficult thing I did. And if you know, you know, because it is very difficult to do that. And over time, all it caused was growth. All it caused was growth. Because I started cutting out these shitty things, all these quick little dopamine hits that we get here on earth, all these men. And they don't look at their days, and they don't see exactly their day-to-day or how much time they're wasting that they could be putting towards their future. And they don't realize it. So, identity over comfort any single day of the week. Choose the man you want to be, not the path of least resistance, okay? So you have to decide for yourself. Are you going to keep doing these quick food deliveries? Are you going to keep gooning? Are you going to keep smoking this weed? Are you going to keep, scrolling on Reels? Are you going to keep just playing Xbox for hours and hours and hours? And some of that stuff isn't bad, but a lot of men on this earth are not doing just a little bit. They're doing a lot, okay? Because I still have times where I screw up and I scroll I'll find myself 30 minutes in. I'm like, what the hell am I doing? Get up now, go, right? I still play Xbox here and there, but it's about limiting it. I make sure all my work is done for the day. I make sure that I have fulfilled, all my tasks on my list for the day. And then I feel like it's a reward, okay? When you're constantly, giving yourself a reward and constantly, chasing after this cheap dopamine, that isn't a reward. That's not what a reward is, okay? So choose the man you want to be. Start cutting these things out. Start realizing them. The first thing is realizing and understanding them. And then start throwing in things that make you uncomfortable, okay? And I know a lot of people that's like, I'm not comfortable with this. That's the fucking point. You don't need to be comfortable with this, okay? You have to start opening your mind to other things and doing other things that are going to help you move forward. Not this way, forward, okay? So that's it for the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you guys have any ideas below for any next videos. I'm uploading one time a week. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one.